Hello students, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us start. So in the last class, we have seen uh, that the transmission line, how we can utilize as a circuit elements, correct? And followed by how we can how we can develop a resonator out of the segment of the transmission line. So now we got an idea about these things, that conversion of the lambda elements or utilized in a microwave circuits, correct. Now the thing is, we need to understand, because in last class we have seen the termination of the transmission line was open circuit, open termination, or the short circuit termination, correct. Now today we'll discuss the different terminations, and we'll try to find it out, uh, the maxima and minima over the transmission line due to this arbitrary terminations, because it is really very important when we are terminating the transmission line. So this should be clear that at what portion we are getting the maxima and the minima. So we'll try to analyze theoretically here, and we'll see that how we can handle this situation when the termination is capacitive, inductive, or mixed, or let's say resistive terminations. So in this class and the next one or two classes, we'll try to stress over these things, and we'll try to find it out, um, uh, the things actually when this transmission line is going to terminate with arbitrary loads. Fine. So yes. So let us start with first lines, means transmission line with resistive termination. Fine. So it means that first we need to understand that when any transmission line terminated with the, let's say, load ZL, and the situation is like ZL is not equal to Z0. Fine. So in that case, what we may expect? We may expect the reflected wave. Means for incident wave, there must be reflected waves. Fine. It means that the transmission line is not matched properly. Correct? And this is the critical case too. So now this ZL actually here we will be discussing as the resistive termination. So let it be RL. Fine. Fine. Now we need to recall the previous equation, what we studied. If you remember, that V Z dash is equal to IL by 2 ZL plus Z naught e to the power gamma Z dash plus ZL minus Z naught e to the power minus gamma Z dash. Fine. This is the equation. Remember, we already derived actually. Now the thing is, what we can do, we can comment out ZL plus Z naught, this term. Correct. So in that case, what will happen if you take it out? So you can write it like this: IL by 2 ZL plus Z naught e to the power gamma Z dash, and in bracket you have 1 plus and a very important term here, which is ZL minus Z naught divided by ZL plus Z naught. This is one of the really very important term, correct? And we'll try to understand why. E to the power minus 2 gamma Z dash. Fine. Now what is this actually? This ZL minus Z naught, ZL plus Z naught, correct? This is actually your reflection coefficient, voltage reflection coefficient. So let us represent as gamma. Fine. Let us represent as gamma, and let's say this because we did not consider for the RL yet. So this is ZL only here. So ZL definitely it will be complex, correct? So this whole thing, the outcome of whole this things will also be a complex number, complex quantity, correct? Now this gamma better to write down like that, mod of gamma e to the power j theta, representing the complex system like this, correct? So usually we are habitual to representing this complex number like this, correct? Now once you have these things, correct, what you can do? So the new equation will be what? Which is Vz dash is equal to IL by 2 ZL plus Z naught e to the power gamma Z, and 1 plus gamma. Gamma is a complex number here, correct? E to the power minus 2 gamma Z dash. Now, so from this equation, one can easily say that by having the idea of this gamma and the argument of this exponential, one can claim that whether Vz will be maximum or minimum, correct? So as the gamma is a complex quantity, and so this mod of gamma will always these things less than and equal to 1. Fine. Now in a similar manner, you can also write down here the current equation. Fine. So how you will write the current equation? This will be Iz dash, a small change you need to make here, IL by 2 times of Z naught. Fine. So Z naught will be extra here, and then some sign actually we need to change here. ZL plus Z naught e to the power gamma Z dash into, in bracket, 1 minus, this minus will come because we are talking about the current here, gamma e to the power minus 2 gamma Z dash. Fine. So this is for the current. Now we both have the current and voltage right now, correct? So one can predict actually the maxima and minima. Fine. So before that, we'll make some assumption here, correct? And the assumption is that because it is really very difficult to handle with phase change and all the things, but if you have the losses, the fixed losses, let's say, or the losses with the frequency, correct? So you may estimate at the last. So usually what you will see in RF and microwave engineering, we are ignoring initially, theoretically, when we are doing the thing theoretically, we are taking the lossless transmission line, and then after we are incorporating the losses. So this is one of the usual practice, correct? for the solution of the transmission lines. Correct. So same thing will opt here. Correct. And what we can do that for lossless transmission lines, what we can write that gamma will be J beta. It is fair enough to write this J beta because alpha will be 0 here. Fine. No. We'll go to the next page. So let's rewrite this Vz dash once again. So Vz dash will be IL by 2 ZL plus Z naught e to the power J beta Z dash, and in bracket we can write 1 plus mod of gamma. Correct. Means I just replace the gamma with mod gamma e to the power J theta gamma. Correct. So the arguments of E exponential, both the exponential will add up, and you will be having a completely new term as e to the power J theta gamma minus 2 beta Z dash. Fine. What is this? This is actually your voltage wave equation. Correct. When you don't consider the losses. Correct. In the same way, one can also write for the current also, which is Iz dash IL by 2 R naught ZL plus R naught e to the power J beta Z dash, and then there will be one sign change only, and the whole equation will remain same except denominator we put it here the R naught. Correct. So better to put R naught actually because yes, so in a first equation also I should put the R naught because now we are talking about these things for what, for the lossless case. Correct. So put here R naught. Fine. Please correct it. So e to the power J theta gamma minus 2 beta Z dash. Fine. So now we have two equations, and we can do a lot of things with these two equations. Correct. So now if you are considering here mod of V max and mod of I min occur together when, can you write the condition? Yes, this is theta gamma minus 2 beta Zm dash is equal to minus 2 and pi, where n is equal 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. Correct. This is one thing. Another is we can also write down one condition here because we know this argument here, and this is going to play a very important and crucial role here to decide this V max and V I mean sorry. So like here you can see theta gamma minus 2 beta Z m dash is equal these things. So let us consider this is 0 actually. So e to the power 0. So this will provide plus and this is minus. So definitely we are getting max and minimum. Correct. In a same way we can manage the conditions for V min and I max. Correct. And for mod V min and mod I maximum. Correct. Here the current will be maximum here. Now what will the condition? Can we think of? Yes, 2 beta Zm we are putting small m, correct? This maximum m corresponds to the maximum voltage, and small m corresponds to minimum voltage, correct? So we'll use this terminology throughout this chapter actually. Dash is equal to minus 2n plus 1 pi, correct? If you're putting n is equal 0, let's say, correct? So there will be minus pi, and minus e to the power minus j pi will provide you the minus sign. So this will be overall minus. So the first one will be minus and the second will be plus. In that case, the result will be just reversed. So that is why here for this case, you are getting the voltage minimum and current maximum. So one thing is clear that these from these condition one can immediately guess, correct, that at what these things argument we will be getting the maxima and minima, correct. Now this maxima and minima value is really very important to decide one very important parameter which we called as a VSWR, voltage standing wave ratio, correct. And how we are defining these things? We are defining like this, that VSWR is equal to Vmax ratio of Vmax over Vmin. Fine. Now the thing is, just recall these things. If you do here the maxima and minima for this thing, so generalized formula you may write down here: 1 plus mod of gamma e to the power minus j 2n pi divided by 1 plus minima could be done from this relation, 1 plus mod of gamma e to the power minus 2n plus 1 pi j. Fine. Now let's say for n is equal 0, correct. So for n is equal to 0, what will be the VSWR or SWR? Standing wave ratio will be just 1 plus mod gamma over 1 minus mod gamma. Fine. Correct. So why these standing waves are forming? Because there is a mismatch, and there is a, when the mismatch occurs, so there will be reflected wave, and at the same phase location, these will be oscillating actually maxima and minima at the same location. So this is actually what the standing wave ratio. And when we are talking about particularly transmission line, this is not good. But the thing is, when we are talking about the resonator and its application, so we may use the standing wave, correct, for those applications, correct. But for the transmission line purpose, we don't want the standing wave. It should be propagating in nature. Wave should be propagating in nature in a transmission line. Please remember this point, correct. Now, so when you have these things, you may also relate your reflection coefficient with SWR also. So let us be defining SWR is with capital S. So this will be S minus 1 over S plus 1. Now these are really very important formula, and you will see in our coming classes that we will be talking about the reflection coefficient, SWR, and all the time, correct. So it is really very important to know some insight, correct. So now let us do some conditions here. So for gamma is equal 0, correct, the first thing. So if you are putting the gamma is equal 0 here, so what is the SWR? This will be S is equal 1. Fine. So what is the explanation actually? This happens when you have the matched load condition. When you have the matched load condition, ZL is equal Z0. Second case, we may expect that gamma is equal minus 1. I'm just talking about the extreme values. So S will be tending to infinity. Fine. Now, when S is tending to infinity, when ZL will be what? 0. Correct? If you put ZL actually 0, fine. Then only this is possible. correct? Because ZL minus Z naught ZL plus Z naught is gamma. Fine. So gamma minus 1 when you are getting when ZL is equal to 0, it means short circuit. Correct? This is for short circuit. And another case when open circuit case, so this will be 1 only, and in that case also S is also tending to infinity. So this is coming when ZL is tending to infinity, means in short this is the open circuit case. Fine, correct? This is really very important to know. Now based on these things, now let us find it out some of the relations actually. So we'll start with the trivial one and we'll jump over the practical one, correct? So now we'll consider the resistive load termination only, correct? So now I'm writing here, now for resistive load termination on lossless transmission lines. Fine. It means that ZL is RL first thing and Z naught is R naught. Both are real, correct? Now when both the things are real, so what we can conclude? We can conclude as that the reflection coefficient, which is mod of gamma e to the power j theta gamma L, correct? Theta gamma, sorry. Fine. So this is what? This will be just RL minus R naught divided by RL plus R naught. Correct? Now, if you see these things, all the things are the real. It means that we are going to get the real quantity only. It means that whatever the outcome of this will be real and positive. Fine. So it means that real means when we will get the real when theta gamma will be 0. Fine. And in that case, gamma will be is equal to mod of gamma. Fine. Now, based on that, correct, we will be getting the two cases. Correct. Because here we assume that RL is greater than R naught. And we made this thing here. But there's another case is also possible when R naught is greater than to RL. This will be just opposite, correct? So better to divide it here, the two cases, correct? So first I will be talking about the case 1 when RL is greater than R naught. So in that case, we just seen that gamma will be positive and real. Fine. Now with these two things, correct, you may recall the previous equations, what we have seen, the VZ dash, correct? And these things will provide you, will let you know actually the location of the maxima and minima, correct? So the thing is, you need to think about the previous equation here, correct? This is really very important. Now at the terminations, correct, means at the load side when Z dash is equal 0. Fine. So what condition will satisfy? The same thing what we have seen, that theta gamma minus 2 beta Z capital M dash is equal minus 2 and 5. This is quite obvious, correct? Fine. Because this is a positive and real, correct? And at the termination, Z dash means Z dash is equal 0. So the first thing which we just analyzed, that V max and V min occurred actually at this point actually with the use of this particularly. So the thing is now here one thing is that the theta gamma is what here the 0. This is what this is 0. Now if this is 0, so immediately you can write an outcome which is z dash m, capital M. Please uh, check this notation. This I'm using small m and capital M. Capital M when we are getting the V max, and when writing the small m, it means I'm getting the V min. Fine. So Zm dash will be n lambda by 2. This is from load. Fine. What is this? This is the location over the transmission line where you will be going to get the maxima and minima. Fine. Okay. So the next case B. So what is case B? Case B will be RL less than R naught. In that case, what will happen? Just the opposite things, what we have seen for RL is greater than R naught. So the gamma, you can visualize actually negative and real. So doing negative and real, so theta gamma value must be minus pi. Fine. If you put these things, you will be getting that gamma is equal minus mod of gamma. So on that basis, I'm saying this is negative and real. Now you again rethink those previous equation. What previous equation? I should show first actually. These equations actually. You need to think about these equations because ultimately the theta gamma and 2b all the things are here and you're supposed to play with these equations. Correct? And when you are putting these things, correct? So what will happen that you will be getting first voltage minima and current maxima. These two things are occurring together. Fine. It means that what condition we need to recall? The second one what we have seen in our last these things. So the condition will be what? The theta gamma minus 2 beta z m dash small m. Now please take care, this is small m. It means why we are writing, because here the V min we are getting, please take care, is equal to minus 2n plus 1 pi, where n is equal 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. Correct? So this will satisfy. Now can we find it out? The minimum value? Yes, definitely, because the theta gamma is minus pi here. So better to put here this theta gamma and solve this equation. Correct? Now if you are solving this, what you will get? This same kind of things, but this is for the case of minima. So if you solve, if you are putting this is minus pi minus 2 beta z small m dash is equal minus 2n plus 1 pi. Now if you solve this, finally you can claim z small m dash, y dash because we are from the load side, correct, is equal to n lambda by 2. Fine? Fine. Now you have the two very important cases here, the case 1 and case 2, and we have realized that when RL is greater than R naught or RL is less than R naught, so we can find it out the location of minima and maxima, correct, from the load side. Correct? So this is theoretically we can do, and this is really very important. Now let's try to draw the things here, and let us try to understand this outcome. Correct? So if I draw these things, so let me choose a color first. Yes. Correct. I'm just making a sine wave. I'm trying to make this thing. Sometimes it is really difficult. And this is one thing. Fine. Now, for this red trace, if you see, so I should mention first, just a minute. So, this is what? This is lambda by 4. Fine. This is lambda by 2. This is 3 lambda by 4, like that. Correct. It will go on. And this thing is for, we plotted Vz dash for RL less than R naught. Fine. And Iz dash opposite. And opposite means RL is greater than R naught. Similarly, for this black one, this is for Vz dash for RL greater than R naught. And Iz dash for RL is less than R naught. Fine. So what is this? Actually, this is a standing wave when you terminated your transmission line with a resistive load only, lossless, correct, transmission line. Now, what you can see actually for, let's say, I'm just taking the case of RL is less than R naught. In that case, you will be getting the first what? Minima, correct, means voltage minima at these things. Fine. This point. Fine. And Iz will be maximum at this point. So it will keep going on, correct? And when you have the situation RL is greater than R naught, so the current will be minimum and the voltage will be maximum, like that, correct? So you can see like this. So we are getting the idea now. The thing is, when you perform the experiments in a lab, so in a waveguide, actually this situation will occur, means maxima, minima, and all the things. Now the thing is, we need to find it out that where is the maxima, where is the minimum, correct? Now how we will find it out? Again, like for the resistive line, it is quite easy actually to find it out, because we taken certain assumptions here. Now let's think here that what will happen if the lines are terminated with a complex load actually. Then the situation will be really very complex actually. Complex load and situation is complex. So we'll discuss in the next class. And but there is a work for you, correct? Now the same kind of standing wave pattern, you need to find it out when your line is terminated with short circuit or open circuit, correct? So you can utilize Vz dash and Iz dash and the conditions of maxima and minima, and you can explain that how Vz dash and Iz dash will be on the transmission line when you have terminated as a short circuit or open circuit, correct? So so this is all about, correct? And in the next class we'll see that arbitrary load termination, and we'll also discuss these things short and open, and I'm expecting that you guys will do the things correct from your own, and we'll have the discussion over these things. correct? Because the thing is, now we are going to move towards the situation like the matching and all, because you can understand when this maxima and minima is happening actually in a transmission line, how difficult to match the system is, correct? So now we'll gather the information, we'll get the idea, and now after that what we'll do, we'll study the Smith chart and we'll try to correlate. So these are the initial steps to understand the behavior of the transmission line of the different loads. You please revise these things, correct? In the next class we'll see again some new cases, and these are the things, correct? So this much for this class, and if you have any questions we may discuss. I'm open for question answers. You please. Today only 626 students are there, so I'm expecting that other student will try to see on YouTube this lecture. This is really very important. Please convey to your friends also, correct? I can understand there's a problem of internet and all the things, correct? So, but please, check this lecture on YouTube also, correct? Because this is a basic building block. We try to learn actually, correct, and we will utilize. So, student, if you have any questions, we may discuss. I am open for question answer.